we're back. I'm joined here by Mr. Scott Chinery and Bob Benedetto. Scott, thanks for having us here today.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, this is some collection you have. It's astounding.
Thank you.
Astounding. You obviously love guitars, to say the least.
Yes, very much.
Yeah. Now, do you play? You must
Yes,
play.
yes, I do.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your background as far as playing. And
Well, I studied classical guitar when I was 14, 15 years old. I started, and I continued through my late teens, and then started to use the fingerstyle training to learn blues and other styles.
Okay. When did you get or make the transition from playing to collecting?
The minute I developed this passion for guitars, I was intrigued and fascinated by the different sounds that could come out of these different designs. And every time I'd go to a music store, I'd have to hear how this body sounded compared to this. And one day I got a job in a music store, and a little old man brought in a guitar to sell. And I'd never even thought about a vintage guitar before. And he opened this thing, and it was love at first sight. I was a guitar collector from that moment on. Okay,
how did it grow from that moment to this moment here where you have some 1,000 guitars here?
I just continued to, I basically set an agenda that I wanted to tell the story of the American guitar starting with its birth in 1833 in Nazareth, at the time New York, and take it right up through modern legends like Bob Benedetto.
Which he certainly is. We have a Benedetto guitar here, which Jimmy Bruno opened the show with, and this is part of the 22 guitars.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Well, I like art also and history. I've always had an interest in these things, and my wife is an artist, and we always talked about what it would be like to get all the great portrait painters together and all interpret the same subject, the same person, for example. Wouldn't that be the coolest thing? Yeah. So I thought about how that would apply to guitars, and right now there seems to be more talent in archtop guitar building than at any other point before. So we got all these people together and we said, interpret the same guitar. The reason I picked blue is because I wanted the guitars to stand out on their own. I didn't want it to be a collection of similar guitars that are already being produced. I wanted that to be the hook, that it would be identified immediately by their color.
Okay, we have a few of the guitars here actually, and there's others within the room which we'll be looking at later. We have a Bill Cummings model guitar here, and Bill was a former guest on the World of Guitar and a student of Bob Benedetto's. And who are the other two made by?
The middle one was the first one in the collection. That was made by DeQuisto.
Okay.
And the one on the end was made by Linda Manzer.
Okay, and this is Bob's.
Yes.
Did you give them specifications?
Yes, 18-inch at the lower bout. There was neck dimensions that I prefer. They would all be the same dimensions. We gave them the Mohawk stain specifications, and that was pretty much it, right? Yeah.
Pretty much it. From there, it was left up to each individual maker to be creative, working within those guidelines. And that was the nice part, the wonderful part as a maker, was to take those very few requirements or specifications and have the freedom to design and make what to each particular maker would be the ultimate in the acoustic, pure acoustic archtop guitar. That was the ultimate goal.
Absolutely.
These do not have pickups.
No.
They're pure acoustic.
Yes.
Okay. And you could use any type of wood at that point?
Well, we stuck with the traditional woods, the maple backsides and neck with the spruce top. But the varieties, I should say, they did vary. European wood as opposed to American wood, depending on each individual maker. Even that, Scott didn't really nail down the requirement.
Yeah, I wanted
to
leave enough latitude that each builder would be able to express their own design as much as possible. So I left all those details up to the the individual builders.
Okay. Tell me about this particular guitar, Bob, that you built, which we have here. What is it made of? What type of woods? And tell me about the neck and your specifications.
Well, the neck specifications were Scott's, which were just a slightly larger or greater width than a standard. Whatever that is, I don't even remember the measurement. About 1 7/8 or thereabouts, the width at the nut. The body, standard 18-inch body with a cutaway. And that was really the point of beginning. From there, knowing that Scott wanted something original, unusual, and as superior as possible, that was the real fun and the challenge. I used European cello woods on the back and the sides, American flamed maple on the neck, and European spruce for the top. Traditionally, the violin and cello woods from Europe.
Okay. What about the fingerboard itself?
Fingerboard is ebony, as
Okay.
is the tailpiece, bridge, and fingerboard.
Okay, and you have your, I call this your signature, but you...
It has become a little
yeah.
signature.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
no,
used to
yeah.
do it